Hey, it's your girl Just Bree coming at you with another video. Feel free to hit the like, share, subscribe. Thank you for being a sub. Any new subs, old subs, just thank you. Um, I'm slowly getting to 500 subs, and then from 500, we're gonna take it all the way to 1,000, so your girl can get monetized. How you doing? Okay, so I have decided that I'm going to react to the Strong Mommy Chrissy video entitled "It's Time to Be Honest." I was inspired by I forget her name. It was a channel I was listening to. She did a reaction with her fiance, and I'm like, damn, she just reignited something in me because I did have a lot to say. But it's really hard for me to do these videos. I don't know. It's like I have a lot to say, but then I don't record it. So I don't know if it's just I don't know. But all right. Without further ado, here we go. Action. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Mommy Chrissy,
Fair use.
she's a queen. If you're rocking with her, if you're down with her, you wanna win. Life update for you guys and kind of share some of my personal life with you guys. You know, I pull back a lot from sharing my personal life online anymore with you just because of I just don't like all of the questions and all of the digging and all of the it's just nobody's business. So I realized that if I just don't speak on it, you ain't got nothing to talk about. You know, you have nothing to even ask about. And if you ask, I mean, that's whatever. You just ask, but there's no reason.
Ma'am, the lesson is if you want to be any kind of celebrity and you put you know, um, any parts of your life out here on this YouTube, it is a possibility that, especially if it's drama, that people will go digging. They do it to celebrities. And I know you're not, I mean, you're far from a celebrity. No shade, it's not shade, but look what they do to these celebrities, baby. Some of y'all young people think that y'all can handle celebrity, and this is a clear indication that you really can't. Um, because Beyonce, I'm not a stan. Definitely a fan. I'm not a stan. But the shit they said, I'm not gonna even get into that really. But the shit they said about her baby, little Blue Ivy, who is absolutely adorable. And yes, she does look like her funny looking daddy. Or she did, and she's changing and morphing. And that's what happens with children. And side note, when these celebrities have a newborn, I think they should just show the newborn and get it out the way because the newborn gonna change 10 times over before by the time they even 3 months. But that's just my opinion. That's a sidebar. And it's just something that I thought about too with Olivia caught herself keeping her baby discreet or whatever. Like there's no discreet when you got a newborn that it looks like looks like baby anybody. Like seriously. But anyway, I
Behind all that. This is something that is important for me to let you guys know. Just briefly, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. I don't feel like it's necessary. Just to kind of let you guys know exactly where I stand right now and give you a little bit of update on what's going on with me. Even though I do value my privacy, I still vlog about my life and I do want to share certain things with you guys. So this will be one of those bonus moments where I'm going to let you guys in and kind of just like have a heart to heart with you guys. And I hope you guys really feel me and you understand where I'm coming from. Really hope that some of you can relate to me. And if you can't, that's okay too. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. So I want to go ahead and just make the public announcement that I am no longer engaged and no longer in a relationship. I don't really feel like explaining the reasoning behind the breakup, but there is literally nothing that has gone on online or behind the scenes that has ever been like exposed or so people thought that is the cause of this. Let me just put it like that without really.
Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, y'all. I was just trying to find the couple that I was listening to. I wanted to get them a shout out. Um, damn, what's the name of that channel? Damn it. Oh, it's them right here. This Visions of Asia. And they said some really good things. I just want to give them a shout out.
Strong mommy Chris. Not anything like that. But there definitely are some things in my relationship that were deal breakers. And without speaking on things too much, there were things that were deal breakers for me that I just couldn't get over. I just couldn't get through. Um, and I tried, but it just is like a deal breaker is a deal breaker. At the end of the day, Rod is a good guy. He always treated my kids with respect, the utmost respect. He never disrespected them or made them feel uncomfortable. He was always very good to them. It wasn't the worst relationship I've ever been in either. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I just can't see myself getting married again and being with someone and it not working out because there are things that I know I can't get past. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And that would be naive of me to do so. So I really started to evaluate some things within myself, honestly. And that's what made me really realize, okay, I'm not ready to pursue this relationship further. And I'm not.
Okay, I'm probably missing a lot. First of all, can I just say that I think that most therapy sessions people can find online, they give you like one free therapy session. Like a lot of people need to take advantage of that because I don't. First of all, I don't know who raised. I mean, I don't know Chrissy's background as far as who raised her. Was her father in her life? A little, if any, at all. Um, any? Did she have any male role models? Um, that I know she has a brother. Um, on her mother's side, I think, but okay, let's just continue. Hold on.
I'm not willing to pursue this relationship further, and I'm not.
No, you know what? I think I'm saying all of this because, and I know this is all anybody that's listening, they know Chrissy, been watching Chrissy for years. But I will address the fact that, again, like I said, there seemed to have been no male influence, um, that I'm aware of. How her mother raised her, albeit no parent is perfect. You know, once she just started out, I mean, after the first and second baby, bitch, I don't care if you in your 20s or not. Um, I'm gonna give it to you straight, no chaser. If you don't get on birth control, I'm not gonna be sitting up here helping you raise a bunch of kids, you know. So it's just my whole parenting style was just totally different. I chose to put my child on um birth control for my sanity and to protect her from that, from being a mom, a teen mom, or what have you, just to try to give her a chance. And this is what I'm not understanding. Like um I get I feel like something for Chrissy to have all these children, something happened to her as a child, and I feel like, did she talk about this? Um, Allegedly, I feel like something sexual happened to her early. She had some kind of early sexual experience that may or may not have been against her will, that led to, and that's mostly, I mean, that's usually typically what it is, especially if they're not all by the same men, because this is a level of promiscuity on a whole other scale. And I have a girlfriend who started out having children at having her first baby at 12. That's a whole only to find out at some point she ended up telling me she had been molested by a family friend. So, it's just unfortunate that, and in her and in my friend's case, which is so crazy, I don't even want to really get into that story right here right now, is that her both her parents were very active members in the church, very Christian households, all that jazz. And they couldn't figure that out, but that's a whole, okay. And I will, so yeah. And and with that being said, um, I just feel like, and from what I learned from watching Dr. Phil, honestly, and Oprah, I mean, people can say what they want about them. I get it, but we have learned a lot up from, from those of us who have grew up in the 80s and 90s. Um, we have learned a lot from those shows. There has been a lot of lessons that have been learned and taught on those shows, whether you want to admit it or not. And I think the biggest thing with molestation is just being just knowing or just paying attention. Just paying attention. And I'm not saying people gonna catch it every time, but I think you start to notice something is off about your child if you have that relationship with them. Um, because I just don't believe and for example with my girlfriend and her promiscuity and having a child at 12, you know, I have questions, and being more aware of what's of of things now. If you had a child that had a child at 12, the first thing I would ask is, who touched you? Honestly, I mean, I personally wouldn't let my child have a child at 12. Like, she would have gotten an abortion. I'm just saying. Um, and then knowing what I know after watching those programs, I would have definitely got her some help. Chrissy obviously was failed in that aspect. Her mother failed her. From my understanding, I don't, maybe she had a drug problem, maybe she had this, maybe she had that. She worked a lot, you know, single mom, I would imagine, because I don't hear about a father. Um, and also your communication, like, I don't know. I hate to ever think that something, okay, so my son is 13. Now, um, and even like maybe a year or so ago was probably honestly the last time I said asked him, like, face to face, like, have you been touched? When they go in those bathrooms, you don't know. Like, they go to school, You entrust them with teachers, coaches, and things like that. And it behooves us as parents to sit down and have that conversation, you know, once every, I don't know, couple of months or so, twice a year, maybe. I ain't gonna lie, it's probably been 2 years since I asked him, but with the pandemic and everything, they weren't really going nowhere. And now that he's 13, I feel like he definitely, um, hopefully would speak up for himself. I mean, it's still not 100%, but he's very aware. He thinks he I mean, he can't fight now. He done knocked a couple boys out at school already. And I've had to, I've had to deal with that with school suspensions a couple of times. So, and he'll be the first to say, ain't nobody putting their hands on me, you know. So I'm at a stage now in his life where, at least he will try to fight for himself. And I feel like I would notice if something changed, and I try to keep open communication with my kids. Cause I asked my daughter, um, maybe 6 months or so ago, I'm like, you sure ain't nobody touch you? Cause like even today, like I will kill a mother sucker. You understand me? I'll be like Jeannie Mai said her mother went to her Jeannie's molester's house, and it was a family friend, and she confronted him. So I feel like it's a lot of trauma behind all of what is Mommy Chrissy. That, all the makeup and the wigs and the eyelashes. I mean, she could try to cover it up, but it is just not in the best interest of herself or her children. Um, it's just not.
ready to even think about getting married to someone just yet. I really still have a lot of personal healing and growth I need to do first. Honestly, even though I am completely over my ex, I still have healing, because when you go through something as devastating as what I went through, you still need to get your shit together. You need to pour back into yourself. And I think that I was just worried about, I don't deserve to be alone and I deserve a good guy. And even though that is true, even with 9 children, despite what people may try to lead you to believe, I do deserve a good man who's going to come in and do all of the things and have all of the, qualities that I feel like I deserve and that I do deserve and that my children deserve. I'm
Okay, this whole deserve word. First of all, you deserve what you work for. Um, you deserve I mean, you deserve who you are. Like they say, you attract what you are. This whole situation you put yourself in with these 9 kids, you can think all you want, man. You can think all of that. But as far as I knew, you know what I'm saying? Demarcus was a stay at home dad. You took care of him. They said you brought your ring. And then with Rod, who knows? I mean, I'm sure. I mean, listen, you don't have a good record of picking men. And it's from the first to the last. The only one you might have picked right was the one that don't live with you. And you couldn't get him to stay with you. And at that time you had about 4 or 5 kids when you had a baby by that dude, which I just don't I don't understand. But you deserve just what you give, and it's given a lot. And the kind of man that's willing to deal with that, that other channel the channel I was listening to, it was she had a male perspective, which I really liked because um he pointed out the fact that what did he say? Oh God, I can't. Oh, they were talking about how, and I said the same thing. Like a man that's willing to deal with a woman with 9 children, he either running from something, he need a place to stay, but it's something off with that because I'm not saying that there's not anybody out there that's willing to deal with your situation, sis. But I highly doubt it's anybody that is of any real quality. You can get a man, and I say that to all the women. You can get a man to sleep with you, tell you sweet nothings, what you want to hear, but is somebody gonna really be in a long haul for this situation? Like, and allegedly he only had 1 kid, and he didn't even live in the same city or state with that child, which I find that a little on the repulsive side because, sir, you up and left your one child for a woman with 9 kids? No, no, no. That's not gonna work, buddy. And being though these women are desperate, that's okay with them. She's okay with that. Let's continue.
I just have to be very, very careful. I can't make the same mistakes that I made.
Be very, very careful, ma'am. You better do and I'm not saying she didn't, but if she didn't, you need to be doing a criminal background check on each and every the the next nigga that you decide that you want to be with. And I think it's gonna I don't think well, I'm hoping, and I could be dead wrong, but I think, let's see how this let's see if she can go 5 years without a man, because to be honest and truthfully, she don't need a man until that little one turn at least 17.
With my ex anymore. It's just time for me to learn from what I've been through and to stop making those same mistakes and stop ignoring some of those things that I know are deal breakers for me because I'm too focused on wanting to be happy. And that's a lot of our problems as women. And I feel like I'll take it a step further and say, with single mothers, I feel like a lot of us settle for men who
Girl. She literally said talking about somebody settling. Her settling for a man. Girl. What part of you not the prize is you not understanding?
we
Ma'am.
normally probably wouldn't if we didn't feel like we are running out of time or just, didn't have a lot of options or whatever the excuse may be that we tell ourselves or whatever. And then it leads us to be with people who really don't deserve us or who, like I said, we normally would not even try to be with because the pickings are slimmer for single mothers.
So you mean to tell me that you wouldn't have tried to be with Rod prior to what now? I mean, you got some standards all of a sudden, girl. What kind of standards you got? What's the standard, girl?
especially if you have a lot of kids like I do. And at the same time, y'all, I do believe that there is someone out here for everybody. Right now, the
You
only
could
thing that
believe, ma'am. You could believe what you want. Men out ratio women, out ratio men. I don't know. It's a big difference. It's men to women and women to men. I don't know about that. Somebody for everybody, but you can say
that I
that.
desire to do is to live my life freely with no strings attached and to
Well, hell, you got about 9 strings that's not attached. Talking about not attached. Girl, you beyond not attached.
take care of my kids and raise my kids to the best of my ability. I really want to focus on them. Um, Relationships and men are a lot of work.
But when did you realize that you should focus on your kids after what? Baby number 4, 5, and 6? I mean,
And they are time consuming. And then when you get people who have baggage or whatever, it's even more work. And I'm all for, healing and working together.
yeah, men are time consuming because this is insanity. Because you have to nurture a relationship, man. You have to put in time and work in order for a relationship to be sustainable, which obviously, like a lot of us, you know nothing about because I don't know how long you were with each baby daddy, but it couldn't have been too damn long. And I just don't, for the life of me, see getting with every nigga I met and just saying, okay, I'm gonna have a baby for you, and you, and you. It's not funny, but it's funny.
To a common goal. I'm at a position in my life now. I'll be 32 years old this year. I've got 9 children. And when I sit back and I think about my life and the responsibility
And all the horrible decisions you made, keep it 100, man. Those were horrible decisions to bring those many children into this world without the promise of marriage and the promise of a family. Listen, without the wedding ring and the wedding and the marriage. You didn't get married till baby number 6. I just couldn't see like I would consider myself a baby factory if I had all them kids. And I ain't nobody baby factory. And I ain't ever been married. And I'm not trying to, act better than because I got 2 kids by 2 different men, 12 years apart, man.
that I have, it is a very, very, very difficult one. Um, to raise 9 children, 9 amazing, smart, um, capable individuals, both boys and girls, is a lot of work. A lot of people would not even can't even fathom being able to do that. Some people can't even do that with one child or 2 children, and here I am trying to do it with 9. Meanwhile, having a person
Yeah, and the sad thing about it was you didn't have to. You could have been on birth control. When I first started watching like the old videos of Chrissy, I mean, like most of us, she had a lot of promise. I just don't know what makes people think that, child, I don't know. I mean, I already made my assumptions earlier,
personal
but
life and dating and trying to have romance because mama need love too, and I
oh
get that.
no, oh
But
no, mama need a husband. Mama don't need love. Mama need a husband that works. Like you had to settle for what's his face, Demarcus, because he came into the picture at when you had 6 children. So talk about desperation, bitch. You said you. I ain't gonna say settle. You chose to to procreate again with someone who, was not stable in all his ways. And girl,
I'm at the point in my life where I just have to put them first. And if anything
now she at the point where she got to put him first. You wasn't putting him first along, like when I mean,
really just doesn't add to that, it's taking away from it. And I just don't have time for it. I just really want to focus on the kids. I want to focus on the
so now that she done been ran through by 6, 7, 8, 9 different men, and having full on, I guess, situationship slash relationship, marriage, and all that in between. Now she just want to focus on the kids. I mean, I get one, two, three maybe mistakes, maybe three baby daddies, and then it's like, okay, let me get on birth control because I don't really know what I'm doing here. I got 3 kids by 3 different men, or what have you. I don't trust myself to make good decisions, which is really the problem. As women, we don't trust ourselves and we don't know shit. And in this, I mean, you can't take back what's happened. But the fact that you still rely on your own brain to even think about which your next move should be, girl, you need to go get in somebody's school and get you some kind of, I don't know, even if it's just, in my opinion, even if it's just some little liberal arts degree, just because these girls, they need some critical thinking skills. And I know you could be book smart and street dumb, um, when it comes to men. But not only that, getting a little, going to, you know, um, what do you call it? The city college or whatever. Um, you need therapy. You need therapy, therapy, therapy.
kids. There's a lot of things that I have planned, a lot of changes. And I know you guys are like, changes, you got to change every month or every other month or every 3 months, but it's the truth. Life, with life you have to
She dragged them kids all across the United States. Like the instability of it all is just, it's heartbreaking. As much as she try to front and pretend like, well, we still living our best life. It don't affect the kids, yada yada. We'll see in 10 years when, God forbid. I mean, we'll see in 10 years. That's all I'm gonna say. Because you have no idea, ma'am. No idea. And I know good and well that you have issues with your mother, that you feel like things that she could have done better, which we all do. But don't act like your decisions don't really affect these children, is all I'm trying to say.
grow and change and adjust. And that's what I think I'm really ready to do. And to be honest, you guys, I'll never get on here and downgrade him or talk bad about him as a man or a person because I don't feel those things about him. I just don't feel like we are right for each other in this space that I'm in my life right now, and him as well. Um,
It's just a delusion for me to think that you ever was. We had 34 minutes. To think that you ever really um had a clue. I mean, because what kind of counseling? You didn't mention anything about counseling, spiritual or otherwise, ma'am. Catholic Charities got counseling for free, for you and your children. I mean, I understand you got them in activities and things of that nature, but they're gonna need some counseling, and you definitely need some counseling. And I mean, just the audacity, the audacity and the delusion for me. You know. Now, granted, I'm in therapy, and unfortunately, my therapist is a one happens to be a woman, and I say unfortunately because they kind of just tell you kind of what you want to hear, and I like to be held accountable, and it had it, and to be honest, I get more accountability from watching the manosphere, and I've learned a lot about myself by just listening to men, older, wiser men, you know, especially when you don't have that male influence. And it is sad. You can call it sad and pathetic and everything else. I'm not. Hey, you get it how you can get the shit. But I damn sure am much more aware of my value that I bring to a potential relationship, and what I have to offer, what I want to offer, what I would want from a man. And those are the things that you have to. I mean, with 9 kids, child, I just wouldn't trust nobody's. With 9 children, I just could not trust a man's intentions on moving in with me and my children. First of all, I am strongly against a man moving in with a woman. That's first and foremost. We either gonna get a place together or I'm moving in with you. If I have my own house, I'm gonna rent it out, Airbnb it, or sell it. But I do not believe in a man moving in with a woman. I don't, because I don't for 1 second want to look at him crazy like, nigga, that's my shit, or or feel like this mine. He can't tell me what to do. No, because I want my man to be a leader. And if we moving together, I'm moving with him. Yeah, he could kick me out. I'm not saying he couldn't kick me out if I moved in with him, but I'm gonna have my first and last month security, so that's not gonna be a problem. I just do not think men should move in with women, and I don't care. It's just it's the nature of things. It's nature. But she has no choice. And the intention behind him moving in with her is just so sketchy. And especially having girls, preteen girls, you know. Um I recently found out that a relative of mine, her stepfather, um used to snatch her towel off of her or some old crazy shit. And I'm just like, dude, I can't. Like I cannot. Like, and this is a close family member. Um, you know, and when you have a lot of kids like that, it's also hard to pay attention to each and every one of them because you're so busy in According to her, the kids is doing this, this, that, and the other. She got, I mean, in hell, she got a lot of them. So it's not gonna be easy to pick up on any changes for real, for real. And 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 that's the problem is that it's the selfishness of it all because you chose this life and you chose to bring a man into your home under just these shady ass circumstances. The criminal background being one of them. And let me tell you one thing, like I fucks with criminals. Like I know, I mean, I believe in redemption. I believe in, people at second chances. My cousin been home now for 11 years. Totally turned his life around. Haven't been in trouble since. He was in prison for attempted murder. Um, you know, he had a specific person that he was trying to kill, so he not just some crazed criminal. I mean, hell, he got a gun. He'll shoot you if he had to. If he defending himself, don't get it twisted now. But he came home. He he's a master barber. He remodeled his basement. He moved into our pop house, remodeled the basement, set up like a straight up barbershop. Super duper talented, and been doing his thing ever since with that. Um, and I know a lot of I've heard of other other men who have been in prison that that really get out and do their thing. I have no problem dating a criminal, a former criminal, or a former felon, as long as he can show me. But he got to show me some things, and we have all this shit laid out on the table. So I'm not gonna sit up here and act like, ooh, he's a criminal. But it's just, I personally just never had, um, I never had a man stay the night with cause my daughter, my kids are 12 years apart. So for 12 years, you know what I'm saying? I was still young. I had her at 17. So I was still rocking and rolling, dipping and doing, dipping and doing. But I was dipping and doing at his house, dipping and doing it at the hotel. Like I don't bring that shit to my house. Not saying I was perfect, and she has met guy friends as casual friends. One thing's for certain, two things for sure. Neither one of my kids woke up in the morning with a nigga scratching his drawers talking about where's the breakfast, you know? Um, so and it is hard to it's hard to date with one. Cause I already felt like cause I was working, you know, um, trying to make sure I'm taking her to her activities. If you have an active child like mine was, softball, drill-a-rama, cheer, she was in a lot of activities. And I was working like 50, 60 hours a week and trying to, when I was dealing with my son father at the time. It's a lot of it's guilt. It's a lot of guilt with that. Cause you feel like, well, I still gotta do me. I'm still young. I'm still perky. I deserve happiness. I deserve to date, you know. So I I was doing a lot. I was doing a lot, trying to be everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Just, trying to spend a night, trying to going out on a date and stuff. Trying to cultivate a relationship. When your child sitting over here like, hello, um, so I damn sure can imagine doing it with 9. But anyway.
It's just like, have you ever met someone and been like, if I would have met you at another point in my life, this might have been better. And meeting you now at this point in my life, it's okay, but it's a lot forced because we're on two separate planes at this point, you know. And that's just really how I feel about us. And I wish him the best. I love him. And I just really have to take this time now to refocus on me and my children. That's it. That's all. Guys, I know there's going to be backlash and negativity because of this. I know there's going to be a lot of I told you soers and a lot of she doesn't deserve happiness and she should just always focus on her kids and just don't date at all. That's unrealistic. But will you
No, no, it's not unrealistic, ma'am. I know plenty of women who, and it's their choice. They chose not to date. They child's whole, they child's whole life. It was a minister I was watching. He said his mother, far as he knew, shit, ain't no telling what she was doing behind closed doors. But that's the thing. As a child, I don't need to know that you out here in these streets, ma'am. I don't need to know that. You know. Now, I'm not saying you can't introduce your kids to. First of all, it's just too many kids, but I'm just saying for the regular mom that have maybe 1 to 2 to 3 kids, you can introduce your friends casually. I mean, personally, that's just my opinion because men and women are gonna be friends, or even still, like it's just don't make it so outrageous that you dating or having friends. I don't know. I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say it.
guys ever see anybody else on this channel? Probably never again. Well, it is what it is, you guys. I mean, I really don't care about what people think about me in that sense.
You
I just do what
care,
I feel like
girl.
is
You
right for
care.
my real life. There's a lot of people out here who get on a pedestal and they try to act like they're better than, content creators. But at the same time, like, look, y'all, I got flesh just like you have flesh.
Nobody thinks anything. Nobody thinks they're better than anything. We just watch you. I mean, you put out here what you put out here, and hell, listen, what you do. Everybody don't do what you do. Just because you think that shit is normal, it's not normal to everybody. And everybody judges. I mean, girl, I'm sure you got friends that you sit down, you be like, girl, you and Liv going back and forth now. The fuck? Everybody judge and listen. Again, like I said, 2 kids, 2 baby dads, never married, never required marriage. I'm just reacting to what I see. If I was to put my life on here, you could do the same damn thing. But when you do shit like this, you are free and fair game, ma'am. So I don't understand why somebody been on here this long that don't
I'm a woman
understand that.
who just like other
I mean, she understand it, but then she still, I don't know why they're talking about me.
y'all. Most of y'all are women. You know what I'm saying? And I
Listen, a hot mess is a fucking hot mess. And this shit was a hot mess. We know y'all was in there more than likely, um, fighting like bulls in that house. Girl, around them cheering. So yeah, we judging. Yeah, somebody should call CPS because y'all don't need to be in there fighting around them cheering. Girl, go take a CPR class. How about that? Do something productive like that, bitch. Take a parenting class. Just because you have 9 kids don't make you no damn expert. I took parenting classes before. Shit. Damn sure don't make you no expert. But you need to be doing some things that have some substance. I don't know, girl. Bye.
I love love and I want to be in love and I want to be wanted too.
And that's the problem. So if you were to hear me say love is stupid, I mean, I hate love. I hate when people talk about love, and it sounds strange, but granted, I know, and probably because being that I'm older, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter, and I don't hate love per se, but it's the fantasy behind it. It's the thinking you gonna be happily ever after. It's the Disney fantasy now. The more that I've listened to certain um certain people teach about these things. It's the Disney fantasy for me. It's that kind of love that makes me crazy because that kind of love is not unconditional, ma'am. It's just not. And that's why you have 9 children now, because your feelings are, you know, you just it's the feelings, and you fall for these, I don't know, other than Demarcus and Rod, like I have no idea who these other baby daddies are, but I'm assuming they're not the pick of the litter. So, if you don't know why, if you can't go to a man and ask him certain questions. Like, what y'all looking for? What y'all want? But then at the same time, girl, do you even need? You don't.
But I can put my vagina and my heart on the back burner when it comes to my kids. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, you can now. You
Like,
can,
to be honest,
girl. Boo.
it's all about them. It's all about them. So,
Oh, it's all about them. As she pull on that rat's nest, child.
I don't really need a man up in my bed or my house so bad to where I just,
Now she don't need a
I'll
man,
just deal
honey.
with anything, or I'll go through anything, or whatever, just so I can say I have
Well, you went
a
through
man.
something,
I'm not that type of woman. I know a lot of people think
and
because
I know them kids seen something.
I have 9 kids, I'm a mother of 9, that I must be desperate, or I
You
must
are.
whatever, and that's fine. I mean, people can really think whatever they want. They're going to.
I just think you need therapy because you was touched as a child, and you're not gonna tell me no different. And I'm not trying to make light of it, but you need to address it, and you need to address it quick. The better, the sooner, the better, honey, because you are already 32.
You're entitled to it, and I mean that's okay. Um, the only reason why I'm putting this out there is, one, I know people are going to talk about it regardless. Once you guys start to notice that
Right?
he's not around and I'm not wearing a
Yeah.
ring anymore, and
Mhm.
that things are definitely going to
Mhm.
change. And I just really want to be really forward and very transparent and just tell you guys what it is and what it's not.
Well,
And
shit, you ain't
any
that
type of
transparent.
speculation
You
in
ain't told
between
us
there, I mean, you
everything.
guys can have at it. You guys can think or say or do whatever
Oh,
it
we
is that you
will.
need to
We
think or say
will.
or
Thank
do.
you for your
As long as
permission.
I know what it is and what it's not, that's really all that matters to me. But
You
for
know
my
what it is?
supporters who have really been
I
rooting
bet you do.
for my relationship and really supported us, I appreciate you guys and all of the love and the support that I got, because there was a lot of negativity too.
See, because smart people don't support bullshit. We saw bullshit a mile away, and I know you claim you don't want to hear it, but ma'am, that's the problem with. And I'm not saying you should listen to random strangers, but did you have anybody in your life that was willing to say, "Hey, listen, I don't think that he have good intentions." Obviously not.
Um, but I think going forward, if I do ever decide to date or whatever, it's gonna be when I'm more sound and confident in. Just because I have 9 kids doesn't mean I need to settle for anybody. Doesn't mean
Girl, let's not talk about what they settling for, bitch. You to settle. How dare you talk about somebody settling for somebody with 9 children?
I need
Ma'am,
to have anybody. If I need to wait until my kids are all grown before I have a life,
you
I
will,
had
you
all my kids
should.
young enough to where mama can
You
still do that.
should.
If I choose a date before then, that's okay too. But I think going forward,
Choose to date. I mean, are you not looking for marriage again? So you just gonna date, huh?
I'm just really going to be very cautious and kind of keep those things
I
private
mean, if
because
nothing
I
else, I would. I mean, hell, I don't know what you can require at this stage, but girl,
Don't like the way people dig into my personal life and start pulling up background checks, credit
you
reports,
put him on here, Christina. You put him on here. That was your decision, y'all decision.
blood types, and all kinds of different stuff. It's not
Yeah.
worth it, and it puts a lot of pressure on a relationship as well. So yeah, that's just definitely a lesson learned. So on this channel, continue to expect strong mommy Chrissy and the strong fam, the kids, in the way that you guys have always known us to be. Like I said, I have gone more personal with a lot of different things, but when it matters, when it really counts, I'm always going to be here to give you the hot tea first of my own business. And then anything else outside of that, I'm just not willing to discuss, and I will not be discussing it, and I will not be bullied into discussing it. I just, as a grown ass woman, you have to be able to stand on your own 2 feet, put your big girl panties on, and just say, hey, this is what it is, and that's all I'm willing to talk about. And everything else is just kind of like irrelevant. So, yeah, I am going to get back into posting and getting back into doing what matters most to me on.
And on that note, this video has gone way on too long. It's a 13-minute video that's almost an hour. Sorry, y'all, but I just had to say what I had to say, honey, because I am the big sister slash mama, honey. All right, get into it. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Deuces.